Hi everyone, my name is Martha. I am a relationship counselor and clinical sexologist. I am a Singaporean from Singapore, and I am with my colleague and Tantra teacher, Jon Gosling, who is in Manchester, UK. So John, in this video, I'd like to ask you, let's have a discussion around it. What is orgasmic yoga?
Well, I feel quite a bit of pressure, and I'm going to name that because I am talking to the author of Orgasmic Yoga, the book, and a marvelous book, and I thoroughly recommend it. So, and whatever I say, read the book because it has everything in it. It's a wonderful book, and I feel privileged just to have made a little contribution in it. So. For me, orgasmic yoga is about one main thing, and that is having the intention to see what is and experience how you feel in your body whilst using sexual energy. And it's a marvelous practice because when I did it, and I've done it on a number of occasions for extended periods. And in fact, I've been part of groups where I've done it for 30 days consecutively. And it's through that practice that my attitude to self-pleasuring completely changed, because it was something I used to do to just get some relief. And it was a shameful act. It was an act for losers, in my opinion, because it was something you did because you didn't have a partner, or your partner couldn't meet your needs. And actually, my discovery through orgasmic yoga is that it's a practice of self-love, of making love with yourself, and to actually learn and appreciate being in your body.
Yeah.
And also, and this is really important, it also changes your habits. It's a way of changing habit, because our masturbation practice, or our masturbation habits, are things that we've learnt from puberty very often, and they're usually the same things that we use all the time as a means to orgasm, to have an experience. And for me, actually, it's enjoying the journey rather than the destination. So the orgasm may be pleasant, um, but it's actually the process of enjoying the build up and how we're feeling in our body. And that gives us the opportunity to learn about expanded states, about really enjoying our body, enjoying the sensations that we can have, and the experience of just being alive. And so it's a practice, and it is something you practice to learn more about yourself, and to have greater experiences. And when you do meet someone that you want to interact, or others that you want to interact with, you can have so many more different experiences. And I often liken it to the fact that you're going to learn to play a musical instrument. If you learn to play a musical instrument, you practice on your own, and then when you feel ready, you go out with others and perhaps join a band or an orchestra, and then take part in a bigger group. So it's a process of developing one's erotic skills through this wonderful focus practice.
Yes, thank you. So I'm going to summarize what you just said. What John said is, for him, orgasmic yoga is a practice of self-pleasure versus just getting over and done with, a relief. And orgasmic yoga can also let go of a lot of shame around self-pleasure, around pleasure. And also the intention guides everything. It can also be a form of self-love. And by exploring your body, you can break habits around your sexual expression, and be more in choice. So when you become more confident with your body, you can choose how you want to pleasure yourself and also how you wish to engage with your partners. So when I explain orgasmic yoga, I always say it's a practice of self-pleasure for 30 days for a recommended 30 days for 30 minutes. If you can't do 30 days or 30 minutes, then something is better than nothing. You can do 15 minutes for 30 days, for 3 days, or even 15 minutes for 15 days. It's entirely depends on what you prefer. And I just want to say at this point, because when Jon was talking about orgasmic yoga, actually this came up. I have been shamed a few times in media reports because I dare talk about masturbating, and masturbating often and for extended periods of time, meaning like 30 minutes for 30 days. So this was a practice that was developed by my teacher, Joseph Kramer. And when he recommended 30 days for 30 minutes, I didn't know why. And a lot of us do think of masturbation as it's a waste of time, it's excessive. If you like it so much, you can become addicted. And because I'm also the author of Orgasmic Yoga, based on Joseph Kramer's work, who is my teacher, who I respect a lot of people then start to label me as an addict. And it can't be further from the truth, because as somebody who identifies as a woman, actually I don't have a very high sex drive. And the practice really came about from wanting to see if there's a cap to pleasure. It's less about the masturbation, it's less about the orgasm, it's more about the orgasmic sensation running through your body. It's about playing with sensation through your body. And I think society is so afraid of it that you just want to cast a stone at anybody who dares talk about masturbation. And so if you even just try to Google Mata orgasmic yoga, you will feel you will come across people who actually call me a sex addict, or they think that I am advocating excessiveness, when in reality, I think we are afraid of pleasure. And it's definitely not a good feeling to be misunderstood repeatedly again and again by people who call themselves seasoned journalists. But actually, a lot of times what people write is very telling of who they are and what they believe in. And I just want to encourage all of you to not be afraid of your sexuality. There is a very, very small percentage of the world who actually have compulsive behavior tendencies. And by blaming sex and saying that, oh, I masturbate so much, that's why I become a sex addict, it's forgetting that a person who has compulsive behavior tendencies will be addicted to anything. It can be long hair, it can be cleaning, it can be drugs, smoking, alcohol, food, sleeping, binging in whatever, and sex. So there is only a really small percentage of people who actually have compulsive tendencies. So a lot of people say, how do I know if I am somebody who has compulsive tendencies? I think the people who are worried about having compulsive tendencies tend to be people who are not. So any words that you want to add, Jon?
Yeah, well, as a former addict myself, I mean, I've worked a 12-step program, and it is, and I recognise that I have been addicted to many things in my life up to that point, and it's part of my personality. And typically, why people become addicted to things as a displacement of activity for the pain that they're carrying in their life, and it's a way of perhaps numbing that pain out.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you for sharing. So what I was trying to kind of like infer with people with compulsive behavior tendencies is the common belief is that it's a neurological issue, meaning like this is a brain thing that causes them to have these kinds of tendencies. But people who act out in compulsive ways can also have the shadow that they need to work on as well. So I think it's really important, if you feel that you are engaged in any kinds of behaviors that is causing distress for an extended period of time, to actually seek treatment.
Absolutely. Absolutely agree with that.
Yeah.
And can I add something else?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, I'm really interested in what you said about shame and sexuality. And being sexuality professionals is not an easy path, because there is a lot of judgment from society about sexuality. And, you know, I recognize the difficulty that we all have in working in this field, because there is a lot of judgment about it. And that's because of the way that society reacts to sex as something that is illicit, dirty, and shameful. And this starts in childhood. And I just invite people to know that we have 3 primary sensory areas: our hands, our hands, lips, and genitals. And they are there for a reason. And the reason is to get pleasure. Thank you.
Yes, so I was eyeballing Jon, because the video has gone on for quite some time. So yes, so so please tune in to the other videos, because we're trying to keep every video as short as possible. So yeah, check out the links below for us and our work.
Bye.